Hello, and welcome to this online training where I am going to teach you the 5 steps to getting more dream clients without having to sell more. So, this is going to be a very amazing masterclass, and I can't wait to do it with you. So, marketing in the digital world. In today's digital world, the success of your business hinges on your ability to connect with customers effectively. But the startling fact is that 79% of marketing leads will not convert to sales, meaning that time that you've spent, the money that you've invested in marketing, you're actually not going to get an ROI on it. And the problem today with converting the marketing into sales really starts with customer empathy and actually you showing the value of what you offer. Because the truth is, most businesses are not communicating the value of their services in a way that is capturing their leads and nurturing them to actually make a buying decision. And websites, they are not helping in the process at all because most buyers want to research before they actually take action to buy. And 96% of website visitors are not ready to buy anything on their first visit. So that means that anytime that people are landing on your website and they're coming in there, you've got less than 4% chance that somebody is actually going to make an action with you, right? So buy from you, schedule a call, any of that. They're just doing their initial research. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are designing your website in a way that helps in this process, right? Because we can't really change people's behaviors, but we can change our website to match those behaviors. And the kicker here is that you don't have a lot of time, right? We're competing for time, we're competing for energy, and the average user spends less than 37 seconds on a website, right? So 37 seconds to actually get into your funnel, into your space, understand what you're doing, and make a decision to say yes or no, I want to work with you. So what's that mean? It means that a distracting website gets leads lost and overwhelmed and with no clear path to action. They don't know what they're going to do. And so the chances of that lead coming back to the website or coming back to you are very, very slim. And you've obviously spent the hard-earned marketing dollars and efforts on a website that isn't converting, right? Because you're spending time getting traffic to your website and it's not actually converting. And you might feel like this guy, because if I knew that, then I would be very, very frustrated. But the good news is, and of course there's good news, and this is what we're really going to talk about in the training, is that today building a funnel is converting 3 to 10x better because it offers this focus, a very lightweight experience that people actually love engaging with. So you're communicating well and you're putting them through a systematic process of your own sales funnel. So the real problem is that people are just using outdated marketing models and tactics. And they really haven't transitioned to this new model that is automated, it's predictable, profitable, and yes, it is scalable, right? You want to be able to have your sales systems grow as you grow your business. So before I get into it, yes, it's roll call. Who do we have in the house? Because this presentation, this masterclass is not designed for everyone. And this is designed specifically if you are doing client services, if you're actually working directly with clients and you are not yet hitting the sales numbers that you like, but you're getting a lot of great results. So clients love what you're doing. They're telling you yes, 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 but somehow from the sales process, you are just not hitting the mark. And you are busy with fulfillment and delivery, right? So you love to deliver to your clients, but you don't necessarily love the sales and marketing. And when you invest in marketing, you haven't seen that ROI on your efforts or on your time. And you don't love the ideas of having to chase leads. Nobody does, right? You don't want to feel like that pushy salesperson, pushing. You would rather have that pull marketing strategy, right? And you have, obviously, you've been able to build business, right? You have clients. And so that you find that the traditional ways that you were doing it might not be as effective as they used to be, right? So this is definitely for you. So I want to talk to you about the new model, because when you can shift to this new model, you are able to attract the clients that align with you, right? We call them your ideal clients, your dream clients if you want. And you're automatically able to filter out those that are not a fit for your business, not spending time on, on trying to qualify people, like you're just filtering them out. And with the system, you're able to generate leads and clients effortlessly. Like, who doesn't want that? You have a clear idea of the number of clients you're going to have, because now all of a sudden sales and marketing is much more predictable. And because you've built the back end of this, you now, when people are on a call with you, your time to close a sales call is much shorter. And you are in complete control of the process. So you don't feel like you have to rely on this, have to watch this, and this. Like, you've just got it working for you, right? What I call your marketing foundations. And all of that results in one amazing thing that results in you having more time to do the things that you love. Maybe not watching this, or maybe watching another one, right? But being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor in your business and really have that true business freedom. So, like I said, this training will show you the 5 steps to the Marketing Pro model. And you're like, girl, let's get into it. So, yes, let's get into it. So, step number 1 is very basic, but most businesses aren't doing this, is you actually focus on your ideal client. So what happens is that businesses aren't communicating well with their client. They're talking about themselves and all of these things, and they're not being empathetic or customer centric. And so by focusing on your ideal client and getting really into how they think, what are their pains, what are they going through, what are the struggles, you are going to be able to articulate and communicate the problem that you are solving for these ideal clients. And they are going to be able to feel heard, seen, and acknowledged. By being able to feel heard, seen, and acknowledged, they are going to move on to the next step in your sales process. So I want you to think about, as we dive deep into your target market and that ideal client, is how would you actually describe this person in terms of who you want to serve, right? So this is not saying, I want to work with a Simone. No, I want to work with an agency owner that loves spirituality, that is frustrated with things that take too long, right? So this is getting much more into the psychographics. The demographics are 100% important. But right now, I want you to really think about that ideal customer in terms of what are the pains that they're going through, right? If you can think about the 5 top challenges that are keeping them up at night, and their frustrations and their concerns, and think about how, and you'll see this, because this is the secret sauce of how you actually are helping them through those transitions. And what are their goals and their desires and their ultimately their outcomes, right? So the dream state that they want to get into. Now, I call this the jobs to be done framework. This is what we use in product design and what we use to design offers, but it's a really amazing methodology that you can start using to really think about, are you communicating empathetically, customer centric to your ideal clients? Thinking about what's going on in their mind, what's keeping them up at night, and what are their desires and their outcome. Now, another one, this is like the extra, is because you know what you're doing, right? You are already solving this amazing problem for your customers. Is what is something bold that you would be able to offer those clients, right? What is something like, wow, that's like what I like to call your USP, your unique selling proposition, something that makes you unique and just stand out. So what would that be for that target market? What is it that they want to hear? What is it that they want to feel? What is it that they want from you? By being able to dive into this step, you are going to set yourself up way ahead of the competition, like 80% above the competition, because most websites, most copy, most content, most marketing is not talking to this, right? So you flipping the switch, right? Just making a few small tweaks to how you do things is really going to accelerate the amount of leads and ultimately the amount of sales you're going to be able to get. Now, step number 2 is create an irresistible offer, of course. So we don't talk about that because you already have that, right? But a lead magnet. Okay, so let's just dispel like, what is a lead magnet? So imagine having a salesperson speaking to you and speaking to your leads all of the time, any day, 24/7. That is what a lead magnet allows you to do. So it's basically automating you being there, building trust, adding value, educating your potential clients into a big problem that you know you can solve and that you are educating them on that problem, right? So they're finding the value in it and you are also showing your authority and your expertise. And once you show them how to solve the problem, you can invite them to move on the next step of the sales process with you if they're interested, which is booking a call with you. If they're interested, if they're not, they're going to move on, right? So that is the power of a lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to go pay a huge marketing agency to build it and spend thousands of dollars. You just need to be able to create a simple piece of content that solves your client's big, painful problem. Now, sometimes you might think, oh my God, like, then why would they want to buy from me? Believe me, they're going to still want to buy from you because they don't know how to fully execute what you are teaching them how to do, right? And so the modality of this lead magnet, it's a quiz, a guide, a video training, that actually isn't the most important. The most important is that you are actually delivering massive value in this lead magnet. You're not trying to just sell it. And people are over that. People know when they're watching something and it's just a sales script, right? Like it's not something like that. It's actually like something that is providing them massive value and it positions you as an authority, right? So if you're an accountant providing somebody a year-end checklist that shows them how to make more profit, if you are a health coach and you teach people how to, use their bodies in a way that allows them to unlock like stress, well, teaching them how to actually do a small part of that so they can see and they can have this immediate pain relief, right? Because they're in this process right now. They found you on your website or in your marketing materials because they're looking for you, right? It's intent-based search. So we want to make sure that we can offer them something that will solve one of the pains of why they're coming to you in the first place. And then if you want to learn more, you would allow them to book a call with you. It's simply that. No hard sales or anything like that. Now, it's important to note that you need to have a lead magnet that builds trust first, right? So, not having something super salesy, like showing value and building trust is number one before you actually speak to a potential client. Now, how many times have you heard that you have to know, like, and trust somebody to actually make the sale? Now it's more than like 12 touch points. It used to be about 6, but with digital, with having so much in our faces all the time with social and emails that we're receiving, it's really important that you can find an effective way to build trust with a client, with a potential client. And it's funny because so many times we think about being on social media or spending time on marketing and our marketing efforts, and we think, oh God, but I don't really want to sell. Well, don't sell. You promote your lead magnet. It's something free that people will want. And if people aren't converting on that social media post, then we got to check, is it the method or is it the message? And most of the time it's going to be the message, right? So these are massive things because all of a sudden it shifts the way you think about sales. It's just the way that customers and potential customers, right, your leads, really start to build a relationship with you. And the outcome is that a lead magnet will get the leads and prospects chasing you. Hey, I liked what you did. Let's work together. Now, this was my first online course that I did in 2016. I don't have any in-person contact with any of the people that buy. And it's ultimately because of the lead magnet that I had. And it built so much trust that it was able to help build that trust. So when they knew what the offer was, it was a no-brainer for them. And that's a fully automated system that was built back in the day, 2016. Now, the cool thing is though, as a result, you are able to build like strong relationships with clients or with leads and potential clients, and they are going to want to book with you, and they're ultimately going to want to book a call with you, right? Because if you're positioning yourself as a consultant or expert or a coach, and your big offering is something of value, you're going to have that one extra step, which is to book a call. You've qualified them, right? And to get to the next step of the process. And so obviously this training is showing you the 5 steps. We've talked about 2 let's get on to 3. So 3, now this is the exciting thing. This is creating a sales funnel. A sales funnel is a way to get people to take a specific set of actions that will lead to a high quality sales appointment and client system, right? So sales funnels are going to be different for different businesses. That's why I was like, I hope this is you, because we're talking about a specific sales funnel that you'll build. Now, online, digital, clearly we're talking about an online sales funnel, right? And this online sales funnel is designed to be very focused. So I call it the focused funnel. And so a focused funnel, when you think about it, when you are online, you have not many options to go, right? So a focused funnel takes a person from point A to point B. And that point A is in the IDA funnel, which is the awareness, right? They become aware of you, and we want to get them interested, and we want to make them have this desire to take action. And so a clear focus funnel paints that path right there for your customer. It guides them through their doubts. It is empathetic, right? So there's a lot of amazing copy that talks to their pains, their gains, and their desired outcomes. It is distraction free, right? So there's not a lot of bells, there's not a lot of whistles. We want to make sure that people are continuing to read. It interacts with leads in all stages of their customer journey, and it's customer centric, right? So I've said this a few times, but it's really important, and I do want to emphasize it. Now, leads will come to your website, and they are going to be at maybe a different stage in their customer journey. And so when you create a sales page, and I'm going to show you what the funnel looks like in the next slide, don't you worry. When you're able to create a sales page that is able to talk to your customer in such a way that they are fully understood and they're recognized at that part of the customer journey, they're gonna be like, aha, here, you get me. You get me. I'm gonna make this decision. I'm gonna make an action. I'm going to be doing something different. And then ultimately, right, so I said a sales page, but it's not just a sales page. And I'm gonna show you what this actually looks like in the next few slides. But once somebody has consumed, so they've arrived to a sales page, they see this beautiful lead magnet, they consume it, they're nurtured along the way until they feel comfortable to take an action with you, which would be a bigger action, which would be to book the call. All right, so let's see how it really looks. So the 5-step funnel, really there's 6 steps. I'll tell you the 6th step at the very end. Is we have to have, for any funnel to work, we have to have traffic drivers, right? So this is your marketing activity. So you might be posting on social media, you might have written strategic blog posts, you might have paid for PR or media, been on podcasts, done some guest blogging, you might have referral partners, which I know a lot of businesses rely on referral partners for their sales. And you might have actually said, you know what, I'm going the online advertising route, right? And that could be Facebook, that could be Yelp, that could be Google. It could be an assortment of things, right? But we've got traffic drivers. So we all of a sudden have all of these movements, all this traffic that we can drive somewhere, right? And so where do most businesses drive traffic, right? They drive it to a website. But the thing is, if you're driving traffic only to a website and that website is not optimized with a focused funnel, the user, right? So your lead has about 3 different options to do, right? And remember, 37 seconds. So the lead can leave. Bye, this was not interesting me. I'm out of here, right? So anything less than 37 seconds or 2 seconds or 1 second, right? They're not interested, right? So that could be a host of factors that I can talk about in a different training. They could then consume your lead magnet. So your lead magnet could be something, above the fold. You've seen these in our roast, could be something above the fold. And above the fold, what's that mean? It means that somebody's looking, top 10 ways to find new clients, take the training, right? The lead magnet is right above the fold, right? So somebody is ultimately getting to the lead magnet. Or I'm going to just add in an extra or you can say, you know what, I'm going to have my main page. I'm going to A/B test, alternate test the lead magnet on its own separate page. So the lead magnet just has its own page. So a very clear opt-in for that lead magnet. I love that. That's a very smart way to go. Or somebody could just be on the website and there's like all of these CTAs, call to actions, right? Sign up for the newsletter, book a call, fill out this quiz. That gets people distracted, right? So we kind of want to avoid too many CTAs, even on that home page. So let's take the happy path, right? So we do our lead, we consume, the user consumes a lead magnet, and they get into the nurturing phase. So that nurturing is through email marketing. Nurturing takes that lead and communicates. You are communicating through emails and through videos, education and value, right? Along what lines? Along you're solving a problem and you're talking about that problem and you're offering valuable solutions to that problem. At this point, you are building the know, like, and trust factor, right? So people are going to get to know you, what your business is about, what your offer is about. And ultimately, we want step 4 is that they would take an action. Now, that action would be to book a call. Now, if they don't book a call, then we would put them on a longer nurturing campaign, right? So something along the lines of just a value added sequence until they're ready to buy, right? We don't lose our leads. We continue to follow up, right? Like the nurturing is the most powerful tool for you to truly build relationships with your potential leads, right? Everything obviously is powerful. You got to have traffic drivers to get traffic, right? So you have to make sure your marketing is working. You want to have a website that is optimized. And when people come into your funnel, you want to nurture them and you want to give them a clear path to taking action. Now, I said that there were 6 steps. The 6th step is to be able to monitor this and adjust this, right? So you're going to see this in one of the slides of just the power of being able to optimize just a few things on your website and what that can do for your revenue. And so for all you people that are like, well, hold on, that's great, but what does that actually look like from a web perspective? So you would have a sales page, you'd have a lead magnet page, you'd have a schedule a call page, an application form, getting you ultimately to a confirmation page, right? And so that is what we would build for you at Marketing Pro AI is like having this within, right? So you've got your sales page that communicates the offer, you got the lead magnet that delivers massive value, you've got an email sequence that will get people to schedule a call page, and then you qualify them through an application form and then a confirmation, right? So it's a very methodical process to actually getting people into a qualified funnel, right? Instead of just non-qualified. And so let's talk about this because we have to do a little bit of backwards math, right? So if your goal is to get more clients, you need to get more appointments. And to get more appointments, you need to get more high quality leads. And the more leads and appointments you get, the more clients you will win, right? So there's a few metrics that you're really going to want to start tracking as you are building your marketing muscle. And the first one is your engagement rate, right? So we talked about traffic. You obviously, if you are in business, you are doing something in the form of marketing your business, right? There's many different traffic drivers, but we want to be able to measure the engagement on social media to measure our followers' interest, right? So if you are using social media, paid or organic, and you're not getting a lot of engagement, it's going to be harder for us to get them to take a next step to opt into something, right? So engagement is a very important metric. Now, if you are at a networking event, you can obviously measure that by talking to somebody and seeing if they're engaged. If you are doing email marketing, which is funny, it's also a way to measure engagement. You can look at that through your open rates and your click-through rates, right? So that shows engagement. So engagement is something that you can measure in many different aspects of your marketing. Now, conversion rate is really important, right? So how many of the visitors to your website are going to the next step of the funnel? So you could be doing, capturing their email or their phone number, or they could be directly purchasing from you. Now, if you are selling something and your annual value of a client is about 5K, that's going to be a pretty big jump that I would not go for, right? You want to have that next step of booking a call with you. It's easy. They still probably have objections in the sales process to make sure that that is actually part of your process, right? But the conversion really looks at, okay, how many leads traffic, website traffic, and actual leads from the website. And then prospect to sales, or what I like to call your close rate, right? So then all of a sudden we've got prospects, we've got leads, and how many of them can we actually convert to customers? And through that process, depending on your process, we would call that your close rate. So it's the time and the cost to convert a prospect to a customer. Now, obviously, the goal is to have shorter times to convert prospects to customers. How do you do that? You can do that through a sales funnel. And so I want you to just get out a pen and a paper if you don't have it already. And these are the simple marketing math things that you're going to need to look at, right? So look at your web traffic every month. This is easily, you go on Google Analytics, you can look at your overall web traffic, and you can even look at it on per pages. You'll then want to see if you have this set up, like your website conversions to a lead. And so how would you do that? So if you are using the old school way of like a contact us form, and that's your main CTA, you would then look at, for a period of a month, how many people filled out that form. And then you would divide that number by the total website traffic. So let's say that one person filled out the form and you had 100 people come to the website. That's a 1% conversion. Okay, so that's the easiest way to measure the conversion. And then I want you to think about your annual value of a client, right? So an annual value of a client is one of the most important metrics, that and lifetime value, right? And obviously customer acquisition costs, there's a lot more, but for this is what we're talking about. And so the annual value of client is over the year, how much is a client going to be paying you, right? So you might have one offer that's 10K and you're like, well, and that's the extent of you working with client. Okay, so it would be 10K. You might have, monthly retainers of 2,500 every month when you win a client. Okay, so 2,500 times 12, it's more than 25K, right? And so understanding the annual value of your client is a really important exercise in where we're needing to go, right? So make sure that you can jot those things down. And I'm going to show you why, because this is where conversion really matters, right? So if you continue to do the same amount of marketing activities, right? Let's say, so in this example, both of these examples, there's 1,000 monthly visitors. And in the first example on the left-hand side, 3% conversion rate. So 3% of the traffic converted into a lead. On the right-hand side, it's 10%. And so let's do the math. 1,000 times 3% is 30 monthly leads. And the other one with the 10% conversion is 100 monthly leads. Now that's amazing, right? Like in itself, you're like, whoa, conversion, what does it do? But let's take this to revenue. So I'm using a very small AVC, average the annual value of a client, of 2,500. Easier math, and it also shows the impact here, right? So with this, if we could, and this is the revenue potential, because I didn't put in the close rate here. So revenue potential means that everybody that is a lead is 100% converted to a client. Now that's an amazing sales cycle. If that's the case, actually, you need to raise your prices, because you shouldn't convert everybody to your clients. Not everybody should. And it also would show, hey, you know what? This is the time that I can actually raise my prices a little bit more, because everybody wants my stuff. It's the law of supply and demand, right? So that's why I said revenue potential. So in this first case, 75K, amazing, right? 75K revenue potential with what you're already doing. Now, second option, which because you're a smart person here, right? Is that you're like, oh my God, it's like 3x. Why? Because of the conversion rate. That's it. And so the importance of tweaking the funnel, the copy, the intricacies of when somebody lands, the above the fold, how you say things, the different types of messaging. You just focus on that and you can increase massive amounts of revenue in your business. And of course, I want you, so go back to this example and compare, how much traffic are you getting? What's your conversion rate? All that kind of stuff. And so how do you maximize the conversions? Well, so there's actually two levels of conversions, right? So first conversion is through ultimately capturing the email, right? So that's the lead magnet. And second conversion is turning lead to a booked call, right? So that's another step that you're going to measure. And then the final conversion is booked call to client, right? And so how do you maximize the conversions to that next step in your funnel, which would be to take action? And that's by using email marketing and through a nurturing campaign, right? So you have follow-up emails so you don't lose people that didn't schedule a call as well, right? So we have a few different components of the nurturing sequence. Now, it's really important that I say this because it's not in a slide. Don't send just following up with you emails, right? Like you have, you want to create every email that you send is a value stacked email. It explains your process. It explains how you did it, client testimonials, your story. Like it builds trust, right? Nobody likes the just following up. Sometimes if that's your personality and you're like, oh my God, okay, I'm going to follow up, fine, right? But like that's not the case for most people. And so remembering that, because I don't have a slide for that. And so I want you just to imagine now. Can you imagine and see how fast your business could grow if you could get appointments from from just making these minor changes every single month? Like imagine the impact that could be. One client, one new appointment, two new appointments, three new appointments, 10. Can you see the potential of generating leads, appointments, and clients each month using this new model? Because it's massive and it's scalable, which is so beautiful. And can you imagine the difference it could be in your business if you could get those appointments each month? Like just think about that for a moment of what it could actually do. There's an important thing about visualization and imagination. It's the link to manifestation. You've got to be able to visualize it. In a study, they had, a set of 3 different types of basketball players, right? One set of the basketball players was just told to use their imagination and practice 3 free throws. The next one was to actually physically do it, and the last one was like don't do anything at all. And the study shows that the first and the second, the percentage of improvement on their free throws was 23% for the first study and for the first segment and 24% for the second. So that imagination of you actually being able to visualize that success is paramount to your financial success. Hands down, 100%. As a CPA financial coach, I can also tell you that is some of the stuff that I've learned. And so what would happen? Now let's just play around this a little bit more. If you could solve that big problem for a specific group of people, step number 1, you create that lead magnet explaining how you can solve it, step number 2, and you have a specific marketing funnel designed to get high quality sales appointments that you are comfortable with converting to clients. Ding, 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 ding. What is that? It's you being able to not worry, not be stressed out, have business freedom, and enjoy life, right? And these slides are just telling you a little bit about that. But the harsh reality, and let's come to the truth moment for a moment, is that most businesses do not have the system to generate leads and sales each month on demand or on autopilot. And sadly, most businesses fail, right? Or they're stuck into this trading time for money cycle and getting overwhelmed and burnt out. And so the next step that I'm going to tell you will separate those people who don't get results versus those that do. You got 2 options. You do it the hard way. And that's a good one though. You say, you know what? I am going to go do it alone and try to figure all this stuff out by myself. It might work. I will have headaches and I'll have some sunk costs, but you know what? I'm going to do it. Or you could go the easy way and get a proven system from a team, a marketing pro that has already done it. We'll give you the whole tested system and help you get faster results versus doing it by yourself or having somebody on your team do it. And you've got a team of seasoned pros here. We've got 40 years of combined experience in UX, UI, branding, marketing, business growth. And our team has not only worked for Fortune 500 companies, but small dynamic businesses as well. So we've seen it all and we love doing it all. And our expertise has helped companies increase their top line revenue, right? So when we think about sales, through client acquisition and retention strategies. So that's really where we're focused. And we specialize in revenue growth and profit automation. Our strategies are not about just increasing the numbers, but they're about creating it in an efficient way so you have more time back. Time is more valuable than money, and it is by far the most important thing that you want to think about. And what will you get? Like if you're like, okay, Guy, okay, Simone, you sound good. Your team sounds awesome. What do I get? And so with working with us, you will have that big problem you solve for clients very clearly defined and articulated and communicated well. You're about to have that lead magnet and your marketing funnel ready to go. And with that, you're going to be on your way to maximizing your conversions with email marketing automation. Your branding, we've got amazing brand designers on our team, is like too compelling to stay away from. And your copy aligns with that brand voice, right? So your ideal customers are understanding it. They feel what's happening. They are wanting to actually work with you. And you will have, my friend, a full automation of the customer experience from the call to action to that email nurturing. And all of that is delivered to you in 4 weeks. Marketing Pro AI. And we don't just leave you there, right? Because a lot of that can kind of feel overwhelming. And so we actually give you 3 months of aftercare support with a dedicated team to make those tweaks and optimize the funnel, right? It's important. Like you saw the action of what a small tweak and conversion can do for revenue. And so that's where we go and that's where we focus. So now I want you again to ask yourself if this is for you, because it isn't for everybody. And so if you have an annual value of a client that's more than 5,000, this is already a sign that this could be for you. If you're ready to improve your sales and your marketing process, you want to convert some of that traffic into clients and actually start getting an ROI, this is for you. And if you want that system, like if you want and to invest in a system, a back-end system that gets you to qualify, book, and nurture hot leads, then this is definitely for you. And if you're into building the long-lasting relationships with clients, something that you know is not just this short-term win, but something long-term with your clients, then absolutely Marketing Pro is for you. We like to prioritize what matters in business and to get you results fast. Those are some of our core values, is actually speed, transparency, and efficiency, and honesty and integrity. And we really care about building long-term relationships. So let's talk about ROI. So everything that we do takes most businesses 6 months to create and more than $30,000 in setup costs. Like that's just a reality of building sales funnels, right? And we're not charging that high because we are in it for the long run. We want to build a long relationship with you. And we do recognize though that you've got to invest, right? And you've got to be able to invest in the value that we're about to provide. And because we leverage our own systems that we've already built, and we do leverage AI, Marketing Pro AI, we want to pass on some of these cost savings to you. So an initial investment of getting our 5-step process implemented and done for you in less than 4 weeks is, drum roll please, it's between $7,500 and $12,500. So it depends exactly, your business, what assets you already have, some of the extra work that we might need to do, but we're all for full price transparency, and that's the initial investment. So meaning when your website is converting better, if you are charging about $5,000 for an annual client, you should be able to recoup this investment within a few months. So it's a no-brainer. So I want you to just imagine how much time and money you would be able to save by having this funnel. Imagine, you can always think about the negative, right? Like you can go down the path of not changing anything. You stick with what you have and you will remain frustrated. Or you can take an opportunity to make a change and think about, you will be able to have so much more time, so much more money in your pocket, in your life, by being able to create your own funnel with Marketing Pro. So if you're interested, you got it. You book a call with me and we'll be able to talk about how we can really help you in your marketing journey. Ciao.